All right, so we're going to talk about a super important thing, which is called fundamental theorem of calculus. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this worksheet. And this worksheet is already posted. You have 2 days to do it. If I were you, I would go all the way to question like 6 or 7. So probably question 7, and then you do the rest of them tomorrow. So you have 2 days to do it, and the first day I'm going to go over a couple, and then you're going to try to understand as much as you can. Now, remember AP exam is worth 108 points, right? So if it's 108 points, how much this is worth? This is worth 9 points. And you're going to be like, 9 points not a lot, but 9 points is a lot. Because if you have 9 points, and you might have 2 questions on multiple choice about this, so it'll be 11 points. And guess what? You only need 42 points to get a 3. So you can actually get a fairly good score just to understand this topic. It has no math involved. It's just notations, understand graphing, understand slopes, understand derivatives. That's it. It didn't ask you to take integration. It didn't ask you to take a derivative. It didn't ask you to do anything. It just had to understand the fundamental of calculus and how things work. Okay, so let's start with this question. And let's read them. And we says, can you guys see or no? We says we have a area and FTC applications. FTC stands for fundamental theorem calculus. We say let F be continuous. So we're going to highlight that. Says continuous. Oh, that's an ugly color. What's good color?
Blue.
Let's do some like Among Us colors. What's Among Us color?
Let's go with that light lavender.
Cyan, right?
Yeah.
This is called cyan. Ooh, that's nice. Continuous and f of x, this, and from 0 to 12. And also highlight this, and you got y equal to f of x. This is the graph. So what did the TOEIC says, they define a function for you. They say h of x equal to from 0 to x of ft dt. And they say, hey, can you find out what is h of 3? So can you give me an idea how to find h of 3?
Would I use the fundamental theorem of calculus, the second part?
It's actually not second part, it's actually the first part. So remember, let me write down this equation. I'm trying to have a nice handwriting for you today because this is kind of important. And this is going to only happen once out of blue moon. Okay, so then if they say h of 3, then just plug in 3. And if I plug in 3, that means the boundary is going to be 3, right? And what's the integration between 0 to 3 of ft dt?
Oh, this is just,
It's just counting.
yeah.
You can do it. Area under the curve. Integration equal to area under the curve. What am I going to get?
4 plus 8, 12.
You get 12?
9? Oh, wait.
You get 12. I'm going to teach Xiang how to count. 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, no, not 12. 0 to 3 is 11. Sorry. I can't even count myself, so I can teach him how to count. So it's 11.
Okay.
Because I had to stop at 3, right? I cannot go to 4. I don't know why I keep on going to 4, but it's 11. Got it? Darby, understand? Are you sure? Nodding very fast means I understand. Nodding really slow is like I don't understand. I just nod for the sake of nodding. Huh? It's 11.
Yeah.
Because stop at 3. Okay, so now the next question they are asking is what is h prime of 3? Now I'm going to show you this actually a fundamental theorem happened. So we have a question mark and we says, okay, what does that mean? That means between 0 to x of f of t dt is equal to what? Is equal to h of x, right? Does that make sense? Is it equal to h of x?
Yeah.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a derivative, right? Well, if I integration first, it's going to be big F of x minus big F of 0. Does that make sense? And I'm going to take a derivative of that. Sorry, I'm going to take a derivative of that. So h prime of x is equal to f of x, like yesterday, times 1 minus f of 0 times 0. So that kind of go away. So h prime of x is equal to f of x. Do you guys understand?
So basically, you're taking the first part of it, but you're also taking another derivative to get h prime x.
Yeah.
But why are you taking the extra derivative?
Okay, so let me repeat again. If I have h of x is equal to integration between 0 to x of f of t, right? If I integrate this, that's going to give you big F of x minus big F of 0. Would you say? Because fundamental theorem calculus part 1. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a derivative. If I take a derivative, this big F is going to become small f of x times 1 minus f of 0 times 0. So would that be h prime of x is equal to f of x? And guess what? You have to write this on AP exam because that's going to earn you some points. 1 point just writing this out. You don't even have to evaluate it. Does that make sense? Now what's h prime of 3? Is equal to f of 3, right? What is f of 3? No. Is what?
2.
Yep. 2. This is the point, 2. Because the output, which is 2. Am I going too fast?
Just a little.
I'm going too fast?
Yeah.
Because h prime, look at this, h prime of 3 is equal to f of 3. So f, this is a function f. Because x equal to 3, then what is the y value? Wouldn't it make sense? Shang, does it make sense?
Why would you do everything on the left side? Why would you need to do that if, like, is it already known that the prime of h is equal to f of x? Or do you
It is because fundamental theorem calculus. I just show you again, show you how
Oh,
it's
okay,
done.
so it's just showing. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't
But
need-
sometimes that boundary is x squared, then you have to do a chain rule. So that matters because some question is like that.
So
Okay.
I feel like h prime of x might be equal to f of x times like 2x or something.
Possibly, well, probably f of x squared times 2x because you have to, yeah. And then I'm going to do h double prime of x. Well, if h double prime of x, we know h prime of x equal to f of x, then h double prime of x must be f prime of x. Does that make sense? Notations. It's like everybody go down one floor lower. Am I doing okay? And then if I say h double prime of 3, that's equal to f prime of 3. What does that mean? What is the value you think is going to be? What?
0?
No.
-2.
Why?
Because it's a slope.
Is a slope? Good. So if you look at the slope is going down to right 1. You learned that in algebra 1, right? Down to right 1. So that's going to give you a slope. So h double prime of 3 is equal to f prime of 3. That's equal to slope at x equal to 3 for f of x. So at this point, I just look at the slope between this point. So it's going down to like this. So going down 2, so right over 1, so it'll be -2. -2 over 1, so it'll be -2. Am I going too fast?
So the original formula, f of x is 0 to 3 or is it 0 to x?
0 to x.
To x.
I'll help you. Okay, next question. What do you think the next question will be? They say for what set of value of x is h decreasing? How do I know function is decreasing? What do I have to do?
You have to do the numbering test.
Yeah, but you have to do something first before you do number line tests.
The f of the f prime x graph.
Take a derivative, right? So in this case, they want to h is decreasing. That means I want to take the h prime. Does that make sense? So part B. So it says h decreasing. So h decreasing. That means h prime of x is less than 0. Does that make sense? But what's h prime of x equal to?
F of x.
Good. So can I say that lead to f of x less than 0? What if f of x is less than 0? Where is that happening?
X is greater than 4.
Well, be careful. Is greater than 4, but less than what? Where does the graph stop?
12.
12. Good. Do I including 12 or not including 12?
Not including, or no,
Well,
What's the original problem? Does it include 12 in your
it
original?
does. It's including. Do I including 4?
Well, we can't see from here.
What do you mean? Do I including 4?
Oh, yeah.
I including 4?
No, because at 4 is 0.
Yep, at 4 is actually 0. So because of 4 is not really negative yet, so therefore it's 0. Does that make sense? So you don't including 4, but you're including 12. That's actually really picky. Like, really, really advanced student can see that. But you're trying to be a very, very advanced student. Or you can do interval notation for 12 bracket like this. That's fine. That's an easier way to notation. Not including 4, but including 12. At what x value does h attain its maximum? Can you tell me?
would it be at 4?
Why do you think it's at 4?
Because that's where since h prime of x, so
Yeah, I think you're right.
because that's the intercept.
Yeah, and how they intersect too. They went from positive to negative. That means function went from increasing to decreasing. So increasing, decreasing. That's a way to think about it. So yeah, h attain is maximum. You're gonna say, okay, yeah, it's attain is maximum at x equal to 4, because h prime of x or f of x change. CHANGE, I can spell. From positive to negative. Okay, from positive to negative, that's how you justify. Now, here's my following question. They didn't ask that. What do you think the maximum value is So if I would ask you a maximum value for C, so C, what if I ask you maximum value? What do you think is? I know x equal to 4 reach maximum, but what's value?
Would we have to take the integral of f of x to actually get h at 0? Or say h at 4?
Well, sort of. You integrate all the way to 4. So your maximum value is going to be at equal to 12. Why? Because you're going to add this part, which is 12. Because you integrate everything and you go all the way to 12. Does that make sense? So value is a y value, but y value people think is like a y value in a graph. No, y value is the output of the functions. What do you think is going to spit out when you plug in x equal to 4? That's the output. So input is x, output is y. Now last question, which is one of the hardest questions, says at what value of x does reach its minimum? What is the minimum value? What do you think?
You get 12.
You are absolutely correct at x equal to 12. And you are a genius. Some people says, well, they never cross from negative to positive. It doesn't have to. Remember, minimum can occur in the interval, within the interval, or at the endpoints. Right? So minimum can occur at endpoint. So I'll give you a situation. Imagine my portfolio, my stock market, right? If something like this is minimum, right? But what if I go like this? And that's bad, by the way, which is currently is like that. And it's right here. So at this point, it's actually more minimum than the other one because this is actually lower value than the relative. So it's called absolute minimum. So they can happen at the endpoints. Except my stock is like this.
Which
No.
stock is this?
I'm just kidding. No. Pretty much everything I invest in.
This is why you don't invest in Zoom.
I know. But I did well before, but it's like, now it's a crap.
Exactly.
Okay, so x equal to 12. So yes, because what happened is you think about it, right? This one here, and just kind of think about a stock. Stock growing is good. You make a lot of money at first, but then when the stock start going down, what happened? It start taking away, right? And the funny, at one point, it's gonna break even. Like when it go down lower enough, it's start eating away your profit. So until your profit becomes 0, and that's pretty much what happened here. It's gonna take away, and then it's gonna take away a lot more than you start become negative, right? So at first you make a lot of money, but you will lose money. But if you lose the money, you lose more than the money you gain before, then you is still upside down. So therefore, the way to think about it is this: what is minimum value? You want to look at the output at 12. So first of all, how do I know input? Well, input is between 0 to 4 of f of x, and dx. This one is equal to, very easy, is equal to, I think is equal to 12. I think it's positive. Does that make sense? And then from 4, which is I'm going to use red to represent that, from 4, can use marker. So from 4 to 12 of f of x dx, right? So therefore it's going to be, well, pretty much I'll break up to 2 separate parts. One is a triangle. So the triangle is going to be 3, has the base of 3, has the height of all the way here, which is 6. So 3 times 6 over 2, which is 1/2 base times height. And then you know this is negative. And then you're going to have a trapezoid from here. So you can calculate different way. I'll show you a different way to calculate too. So this is trapezoid, which is you have this one is 1, this one is 6, this one is the 2 bases. The height is actually here, the height is 5. So it's going to be minus 1 plus 6 over 2 times 5. And it's negative. So in this case, you're going to get negative 9 minus 35 over 2. 7, 5, 35 over 2. So that's equal to minus 9 minus 17.5. That's equal to minus 26.5. So remember, from 0 to 12 is equal to those two add together, right? Is equal to integration between 0 to 4 of f of x dx. Now, I don't have to show this amount of work. I can just do the calculation between 4 to 12 of f of x dx, which is equal to 12 minus 26.5. That's equal to 14.5. So the answer is 14.5. Do you guys understand or no? Another way to look at it is this. Don't just busy copy down. Another way to look at it is this area here. We don't worry about it. We can worry about this area here. Do you guys see the highlight? Do you see the blue? They kind of cancel out with this one, right? They are symmetrical. So they cancel out each one. Does that make sense? And this 8 here, I'm going to take out this part, right? So that's another way to visualize, it kind of makes sense. So this amount of area is equal to that amount of area, but whatever excess red is whatever you lose. So you just count them. So if you count them up, it should add up to 12.4 or 14.5. Negative. Sorry, this one answer is negative here. So it's a negative 14.5.
So,
Whoa, the same time. Yes.
so if the graph goes above the origin in a different spot than what was first above the origin, then you would put both of those into the area, or would you just do like the highest one? The maximum?
Can you repeat your question? I don't understand your question.
So for C, we did the maximum, and we did it from 0 to 4. What if later on in the graph it went above the origin again? So there's
Went above x-axis.
or yeah, the x-axis.
Okay, so you had to take account in, how much green then to red, or the total area of green is less than red, then it's still going to be negative. If total area of green is more than red, then it's going to be positive. So that could be a maximum. But the maximum has to be over this one, because maximum has to be this. So it has to be something like this. Can outweigh this two add together and outweigh the first part too, to get a maximum. I don't know if I answered your question. Ani?
So,
Uh-huh.
how'd you get h prime of 3 again? Please walk me through that.
H prime of 3, I just do fundamental theorem calculus. So what happened is I start with h of x equal to from 0 to x. This is the thing they send you. I'm taking fundamental theorem calculus 1, which is integral becomes big F of x minus big F of 0. And then I'm going to take a derivative after that, so which is chain rule. So it'll be small f of x times derivative of x is 1 minus f of 0 times 0.
But isn't h prime of x equal to f of x? So couldn't I just say at f of 3, it's h prime of 3?
Yeah, that's what I did. Matter of fact, that's what I did.
You did it twice, so I was like, wait, my
I did it right here. So h prime of x equal to f of x, and the h prime of 3 is equal to f of 3. But I here is double prime though. This is h double prime, so it's equal to f prime. Does that make sense? Okay, if you don't understand, go back to watch video, subscribe, click like, comment, donate. Just kidding. You get extra credit.
Yesterday because I didn't get some concepts and the video wasn't up straight yet.
It was up. If you subscribe to me, you had to click on the newest video.
I did.
I promise you, it's up there. You want me to show you?
When I got home, it wasn't there. And then after a couple hours, it was there.
What do you have to do, Sia?
You have to like actually subscribe and then like when you.
Thank you. Absolutely subscribe to me now. Pretend to subscribe to me, Ani.
And then you have to
You want me
like,
to-
go here now.
Do you want me to check your subscription?
Yeah, do it.
Like a Mr. Beast?
Yeah.
Do it.
I'll give you like 5 points if I check you subscribe me. Like Mr. Beast, I give you $100.
That could be like a daily thing, a 5-point grade.
Yeah.
You subscribe to my 3 channel and you get 1,000 points.
You have 200 channels.
You guys subscribe to my gaming channel, my
You have a
no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
My Twitch account. Do you-
I'll use Twitch Prime on your Twitch account
Okay,
for points.
for points. You can do my thumbnail for points.
Actually,
Why?
no, I'll still do it, but you know,
It'll be more motivation.
yeah.
I mean, that's fair. If you give me like 1 million subscriber, then yeah, that's worth it.
We'll get you 10 million subscribers.
Okay, I'll be the next Justin Bieber. Huh?
I don't
Oh,
know
you
if
think it's
he
Jake Paul?
made YouTube videos on Mac history, yeah.
Jake Paul.
Pretty
One
sure
of the
it's
small.
Yeah, you can be the next.
Oh, I can punch Shang in the face and go
In
like,
a box.
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So down the
Yeah,
bus.
those are,
You have
those
to
are
really
getting
sorry,
popular.
dude, yeah.
Advertise it.
A fake mantra.
Yeah, I mean, it's not scripted.
Shang versus Mr. Ye.
And then people have to pay for tickets to watch it.
That's profit.
Profit.
And we can start doing NFTs and stuff like that. No, I'm just kidding.
Maybe not that.
All right, so next question. So this is your homework question, and let's start with the first one. Let's see how you're doing. I mean, you can only have a couple minutes, but in Darby, you can turn the homework to a Emoto app, and all you gotta do is take a picture, boom, send it up there. And this is the type of homework you want to do because next 3 weeks it's gonna be like 40 or 50 points on AP exam. It's gonna help you pass the class, or pass with a 5. You never know. First one, you're actually not gonna get negative. You're gonna get positive 3.
Oh, I got it right.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Look at you.
Because you gotta invert the boundaries.
Sir, do you want me to get a picture for your thumbnail on here?
Sure.
Let's go.
What kind of picture I need to
So, do you
post?
want a surprise face or do you want like?
I don't know how to do surprise face. You're gonna have to coach me.
So you gotta go both hands on your cheek. You gotta go. Like that. Yes, perfect. Okay, okay.
No.
Okay, amazing. Okay, thumbnail for you.
Yeah, I want to see this picture. Heck yeah.
Let's go.
Little flags in the background too.
Yeah. Do you understand the stuff today or no?
I haven't heard background.
Are you sure?
Everything.
We have like
Okay.
Conclusions in the background.
You won't believe what I got for this.
You won't believe this lesson. Never before seen. Hey, Mr. I realized during like third period, I forgot to turn in the homework, but you saw me and Sean do it, right?
Oh yeah, that I know.
Good stuff, Sean.
But other time I cannot trust you. But
Yeah,
this time I can
that's
trust
fair.
you.
That's fair.
Stop drawing Among Us in my board.
This time it isn't Among Us. He's drawing Animal Crossing, and it's cute.
Somebody erase your girlfriend's Animal Crossing.
No.
That's so sad. Why would they
That's
do
such
that?
a L.
That's a real baka move. Yo, is that That's not a bucket.
Yeah.
How have you gone? You look like a bucket.
I got yelled at by Miss Gorberg for sending emails to the whole school.
Why?
I got yelled at by Miss Gorberg for sending emails to the whole school about my survey. So now I have to go knock door to door instead.
Okay.
I thought I was cute and wholesome. Then Miss Gorberg
Okay, can you
went
text
out of her way.
AJ for me?
Huh?
Can you text AJ for me?
Oh yeah.